Hi everybody. Well, you can see it's really cold this morning. They're predicting rain tonight, so I don't think I'm going to get outside and do much training. I'd like to, but it's going to be gale force winds, and although Bill's fine with the wind, it doesn't worry him. I struggle with the wind. It affects my eyes, and because I have inflammatory conditions, it makes it hard for me to see, and I have eye problems, and I really don't want that because I've been blind before. I was blind for about 2 years with cataracts as a result of the inflammatory diseases that were wrecking my body, and so I have to be really careful with my eyes. So that's why I won't be outside training Bill today, but I do intend on keeping up with the work because I want to be able to ride him again. I've still got a few things to do, which is to get him used to having the saddle on his back again. Also, I need to get a surcingle for that stock saddle of mine. I can't ride him without a surcingle, and at the moment there's many other things on our plate in terms of money, so I'm not going to be spending money on myself. Cost of feed is very high at the moment, and so I've got to prioritise where our pension goes to us living and our horses living. Cost of hay, cost of feed, not just for the horses but for the animals as well. So, in terms of where our meagre pension goes, it goes to where it needs to go first. So it may be a while before I get on Bill's back, but I do intend on doing that. In the meantime, I've got lots of ground training to do with him anyway, and that's to reinforce those verbal commands. And if you've watched any of my videos previously, you'll see that teaching Bill verbal commands is really important because I'm doing it from two perspectives. From an aging lady's perspective, sorry, I'm slipping on my words again, and I'm doing it from a disability perspective because I've had both, and I want Bill to be able to respond to verbal commands. If my legs won't work or my hands won't work, if I'm struggling or I come off somewhere, I want him to respond to those verbal commands under pressure as well as just in normal circumstances. And look, he's so clever, and he's really willing to do the work for me 99.9% of the time. So I do a combination of draw-in method. I'll use a bit of apple treat to start him off. But most of the training I actually do by just telling him what to do. I explain to him what I want him to do. And again, people might think, oh, she's crazy talking to her horses. But it does keep Bill's attention and focus. And we enjoy each other's company. And the other thing with him is I play a lot of games. And I know people, oh, you're playing games with your horses. Yes, I play games with the horses because it keeps him inspired, his interest up. I'm building Bill's attention span up. So there's a lot of little things that go on in those games, and we're just enjoying each other and bonding, which is all part of the process. So I'm no expert horse trainer, but I've been around horses all my life. I had a lot to do with brumbies in my teenage years. And I've been under the hands of some expert trainers in my time, so I've learned a few things along the way. But ultimately, the stuff that I do now is not so much traditional methods. It's based on my own knowledge and understanding of my own horses, and also it's been modified for my age and for my disability. So if you're in a similar situation as me, have a look at my videos because they're not edited to look professional. I don't try to be a professional. I'm not interested in being a professional horse trainer, but I try to encourage people to have a go with their horses, not to give up, particularly if you're older. If you're lacking confidence, the more you work with your horse, playing games and just spending time bonding with your horse, your fear will start to go away, and understand boundaries and respect. So if your horse is saying no to you, respect that, because if they're saying no, it's usually for a reason. In my experience, horses only ever say no when they're feeling out of control or frightened, disturbed, under pressure, or they've just had enough because you've done a lot with them. So I try to keep my sessions short, happy, and I do more rather than have one big session. I'll do a few sessions, and most of my stuff, as you've realised, is off lead, and for some people that's really strange, but Bill and I have built up a relationship, and he knows a lot of words now, and he also understands my hand signals. So if you watched my ground training video that I put up yesterday, you'll see I asked him to go around the outside of the arena using my arm to show him where I want him to go. So Bill understands hand signals very well. Also words of come on, halt, stop, go. Yeah, a lot of basic words, like your dog, he understands just as well, and he responds very well, as you can see. And the other thing you'll get to see a lot of is Bill drops his head a lot because he's relaxed. If his head is up and tense, that's a signal to me that he's not happy with something going on. If he's frustrated with me, you know, he will lift that front leg up and paw the ground. So there's lots of little indicators to tell you when your horse is not understanding or not happy or has had enough or feeling frustrated. So I don't push past those boundaries. And same goes the other way. If he's pushing past my boundaries when I've had enough, I tell him, and I'm firm about it, and he backs off. So you also notice that in my videos, we might be walking around and he's feeling silly and wants to play with me, or he's just doing stupid things like trying to push me under his shoulder. And the reason he does that is we walked for years with me under his shoulder when I was blind. So for him now, it's a bit of a mixture of dominance and also his desire to keep me in check and under his shoulder where I'm tucked in nice and safe. So there's a lot going on often with Bill and I that I don't often talk about. But anyway, if you like our channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll try and keep you up to date with everything that goes on here. Thanks everyone. Morning everyone. Well, it's very cold this morning and I'm just about to start my morning feeds with the horses. Rambo and Robin are now I should say, waiting for their hay as well. It's really cold this morning, so I'm stumbling over my words. So if you've been watching my channel, you'll realise that most of my focus is on training Billy. Billy is an Australian brumby. He was born in the wild. He came to us many years ago as a very young, starved baby, and he's grown up here, done all his hooligan years here, and he has become my #1 priority when it comes to training. Now, as you can see, here's my beautiful Bella. She's my pet, she's my backyard ornament, and I don't care what people say. I'm happy for her to be my backyard ornament, or my paddock ornament, however you want to say it. I love her to pieces. She's just too tall for me at this time with my body, and I can barely get on and off Billy. I can get on Billy, but I can't even get off Billy. So Bella's a hand higher. Also, I haven't put the work into her that she needs to be have had done to ride her at this point. I love her type. She's as sweet as can be. She's my absolute baby girl. Lovely character. She is a bossy girl, I will say. Just dominant, but I don't have a problem with strong charactered horses, as you've probably realised. But ultimately what I'm probably going to do with her down the track is breed her to something smaller. I love her shape, I love her type, so I'll breed her type to type in the hope of getting something very similar to her, but just probably smaller. So ultimately I'd like a horse that's no bigger than 14 hands, just to make it easier for me to get on and off. So when I do breed her, it's not for selling or any other purposes. It'll be for my next, hopefully 20 years, if I live that long, for riding. So that's my ultimate aim. My horses aren't going anywhere. They'll be my paddock ornaments for life, and hopefully we all live out to our old age.